Okay, so we're going to continue solving the picnic problem. One thing before we handle the length of items equals to 3, I'd like to take a step back and look at how I'm writing the code so far. And right now I'm seeing that I've got um, a couple things duplicated. I've got length of items twice. I'm calling that. And whenever I do something twice, it makes me think, well, I should probably figure out a way to do that once. So I'm going to take this idea and I'm going to call this num. That's going to be the number of items. I could even call this number of items. Maybe I'll make it just really clear. And now I can say if number of items is equal to 1, and let's change this to number of items. And that already looks a little bit cleaner to me. I only have to call the length of items once. From a performance standpoint, if items had, say, thousands, maybe millions of items in it, if I continually call length on it, that could be a costly operation. So it would be better to only count the items one time and then to use that value as a variable rather than recalculating it. That makes me feel a little better. I don't like the way that I'm writing this. I'm not a big fan of the plus for concatenating strings. I really prefer F strings. So I'm going to change it so that the value I want is enclosed in curly brackets here, and I need to make this an F string by putting an F in front of the string. So now this value will be interpolated. And to me, that's just easier to read without all those extra quotes and stuff. So let's do the same thing here. It's going to be item 0 and item 1. And I have to remember to make that an F string. Now, I've actually just changed 3 things before I ran my code. And really, I should be demonstrating proper technique would be to change one thing at a time. So let's see how I'm doing. Get back here and let's just run the program. Picnic with chips and soda. Let's see how we're doing. You're bringing chips and soda, bringing chips, that looks good. Let's do a make test to see how we are with our errors. And yes, we're still passing everything. Everything looks good, but we still haven't handled more than 2, which is true. We haven't done that. So now we can continue with writing. So our else condition, we don't have to reference number of items because it's just else, the other thing. Again, we don't have to handle the case of 0 items because that's been handled at the at the level of argparse, where we said that this had to have at least 1 item that we're in order to run. So we've got 1, we've got 2. The only other condition we need to handle is more than 2. We know it will be more than 2. So print. I can do F. I can do an F string again. You are bringing, and now we need to figure out like what we're going to be bringing. So like let's just say X here, or maybe it would be better to create a variable called bringing. Like we're going to be bringing something. And in general, I see. Oh, I see another thing that's being repeated here is that you are bringing. So that right there is an opportunity for me to perhaps misspell one of these. And of course, it's easy to see right here with the code so compact and everything lining up. But if this were spread across a larger area and I couldn't see all the strings at once, it's just an opportunity here to do something wrong. So this is really kind of what we need to be doing is that you are bringing something, the thing that we're bringing. So I think I'm going to take this and that's what I'm going to instead. I think I'd rather create a variable called bringing that's going to be set to nothing. And I see here that I have 3 prints, and I don't want that. I want 1 print. So I'm going to change this now to be bringing is going to be equal to just the item. So if it's number of 1, then we're just bringing the 0th item. If the number is 2, then the thing that we're bringing is going to be bringing is going to be equal to an F string, something and something. We don't need that last period. And then else bringing is going to be set to, let's say, more than 2. And let's just run that, make sure that it works. So now bringing has been initialized to an empty string. If the number of items is 1, it's going to be just the thing that we're bringing. If the number of items is 2, it's going to be the first thing and the second thing. And then we'll still need to figure out what's going to be for more than 2. Let's save that and just run it first with 1 item, now with 2 items. Great, and let's run our test. It should still fail. So it's passing in. So let's look at the argument. The argument is that it's going to be passing in potato chips, coleslaw, cupcakes, French silk pie, and it's expecting to get back potato chips, coleslaw, cupcakes, and French silk pie. But it's not getting that. It says you are bringing more than 2. It says you are bringing more than 2, and this is what we're expecting to get. So that's the next thing that we're going to have to handle. And we'll pick that up in the next video.